Hi everyone, it's Heidi Smith from Flutter by Heidi, independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in the United Kingdom, and today's project is using the gorgeous In Colour Designer Series paper. So the patterns and colours of these change. The patterns change every year. The colours stay with us for every 2 years. So these are the new range of patterns available in a 6x6. And as you can see, you get 2 different designs in each of the 5 in colours. So they're all double-sided. So as you can see, we've got the 5 in colours here, which are Misty Moonlight, Cinnamon Cider, Magenta Madness, Bumblebee and Just Jade. And each of them come in these patterns. So on the one side, like a sort of a distressed fabric and some lovely dots with lines, gorgeous wood grain and some fabulous text. It's all in different languages as well. So you've got sort of love and to love what we do, share what we love, so which is the Stampin' Up motto, and you've got that in all of the colours. So really useful way of having some fabulous colours in your stash. And that's what I'm going to use, along with the great Here's a Card stamp set. Really useful one, not just for cards either, but for gift projects as well, because you've got birthday thanks, you've got sympathy ones, as well as some fun sentiments as well. I made your card because you're worth it, which is true, and I don't think people always realise. I have a couple of people who don't appreciate handmade cards, so they could have bought one, but actually most people do appreciate and understand when a handmade card is given to them. And there's a lovely sympathy one. Words cannot express deep sorrow felt on your behalf. So, you know, it's a great one to have. Really useful. So what are we going to make? That would be useful. So the other thing that happens with the in colours is you do get coordinating ribbon. I haven't yet managed to get all of it, but I have got some Magenta Madness, but I haven't got the Misty Moonlight. So I've used, just to show the coordination as much as anything, the lovely Seaside Spray, which is the other in colour that is in at the moment, and this is a lovely shimmer ribbon as well, so you've got a lovely sparkle, and on the front just a little thanks with some of the lovely in colour enamel dots, which are a really nice size as an accent. And it's a simple fold over box that houses a lip balm. Now these ones are ones I can get in the UK. We really struggle to get Eos lip balms, which I do love, and I came across these, which are great, but they don't look very attractive, you know, and I kind of went, well, you know, yeah, if I wanted to gift a nice lip balm, let's be honest, you know, you want to gift it in something that looks quite nice. So what better than create a handmade box? So once you've extricated it from this plastic packaging, these actually have a flat bottom, as you can see here, which means that they sit a little bit lower. I have got an Eos one to show you here, but it means they're wider at the base. So if you're making one of these, it will fit an Eos lip balm, but when you come to punch the aperture out for it to sit in, you'll want to create a smaller one. So that's just, you know, and that just means it just sits in their little fold over box. And to say thank you. So let's crack on with the project. So I thought it's not quite Magenta Madness, but it's almost there. So I'm going for the Magenta Madness for this one. So in terms of cardstock then, you're going to need a sheet of A4 cardstock. And this should work with both US and UK cardstock without you having to dive into your 12 by 12. So you cut on the short edge at 6 inches. Obviously we'll use that little piece to do our punching later. And then I'm just going to trim this down to 10 3/4. So scoring is really easy. You're going to score every 2 inches. So if I just put that where you can see it to start off with. So we're going to score at 2, at 4, at 6. Oh, I will do this in centimetres. I'll pop those on my blog. And at 8. And then we're going to score at 8 1/4, at 10 and a quarter and at 10 and a half. That just gives us a little bit of a fold over. Spin it round, and on the short edge just score at 2 and at 4. Now at this point, let's fold and burnish those score lines. So I'm just going to use my bone folder and get that done. I do like a lip balm, I find it really useful. And I have to say, I do find these, the round Eos and the round ones generally, Eos ones, easier to find in my handbag. For my other ones, I've had to sew some little pouches to clip them on, otherwise I just find that I just lose them. But I also like different ones as well, depending on, I don't know this on the weather or what it is, just sometimes I just fancy a different flavour, different texture. So these ones are really awkward to do, just persist. It's only going to be folded under, so you don't have to worry about it if it's a little bit gnarly. And then just score those long ones as well. So, okay, once you've reinforced those, we then want to sort of cut along. So we're going to cut on these ones. So this is where the narrow scoring is, and you're going to cut all the way along. So it's actually 1, 2, so it's the 4th score line, and it's on the edge of that narrow score. So that's our panel that's going to fold in, that's going to have our aperture for our lip balm. Then on these ones we're going to cut straight up, top and bottom. And on this I'm actually going to cut just down the side there, just to take away some bulk. Okay, and notch out. So once you've done that side, turn it and repeat on the other side. And these pieces are good enough size to be used for punching later, so don't throw those away, put those in your scraps pile. Again, just up the other side, like so. And again, we're just going to cut that one away, just to reduce the bulk. Okay. So you're going to end up with a piece that looks like this. So just to show you how this is going to work, this piece is going to fold up. These two are going to create our outer box, and I'm going to keep those the same size and just stick them to each other just to give a bit of strength there. This is going to actually attach to these ones and fold around the outside. So give our little box like so. So what we're going to do now is we're going to corner around these outer corners. And I haven't got the trio punch, but obviously the trio punch is perfect for that. So there's our corner rounding done. And then we're also going to attach our DSP. And if you're not sure which ones to do, then the way I sometimes do it, which I probably haven't shown on a video before, is I just take a pencil and I just put a mark on the pieces which are going to be on the outside, so that when I open it out to put my DSP on, I can see where I'm going to be putting those. Now you can put DSP on if you on the inside if you want to, which is why I've marked those ones. But if you want, likewise, if you only wanted to put it on the very outer ones, you'll just need 4 pieces. So it's up to you which way you want to do it. But if we cut our DSP, really easy, 4 pieces, and we're just going to cut those at 1 7/8, so just to give a narrow border, and you just cut 2 strips at 1 7/8 from your piece of 6 by 6, so really frugal amount. and just cut one strip into, cut 3 pieces from one strip and 1 piece from the other strip, and that's if you're going to just do the outer ones. Obviously if you're going to do the inner ones as well, then you'll need both. You'll need the strip cutting into 6 pieces. So 4 or 6 pieces depending on how you're going to decorate. Okay. So now, obviously because we're going to be putting it onto a corner rounded, you want to make sure you corner round that edge as well. And one for the other side. The great thing about this pattern is it's non-directional, so you can just pop it in whichever one you want, and you're going to want the glue fairly close to the edge there. You don't want that lifting up. Pop that in. And again, you know, it's a box, so it's always a good idea to pop, if you can, pop the paper on before you do your box construction. It just makes life easier for you. And again, depending on, I probably, when I'm adding, I will either use my snail, which will be replaced shortly by my Stampin' Seal. Great new glue that's coming. It's as convenient as snail, but it's stronger. And then there's Stampin' Seal Plus, which is stronger still. So that's kind of similar to the previous Fast Fuse, which you still see me using on occasions. But it's doesn't require the tick. It's in tiny little strips, and I will show you what that's like. So I'm just going to add my pieces on to the outside of my inner. And again, you know, you could decorate all of the inner pieces if you wanted to. So the inside where your little lip balm is going to sit. There we go. So this dotty pattern has little lines in them that go in all directions. Sends your eyes a bit funny sometimes, but hey, you know, there we go. So now that means it makes it really easy for me to see where I'm going to put my glue. So I'm just going to pop some wet glue in there. Oh, that's a good point. So before you go much further, I will pop these together now that they've got glue on them. So just fold those up at right angles, and because it's wet glue, it's nice and easy for you to just make sure that those line up really nicely on each of the sides, like so. So that makes a really nice sturdy side to the box, and all you need to do is just add a little bit of glue to the end here. But what you'll want to do first is to punch this out. So I'm using a 1 3/4 inch punch, which is retired, but obviously you can get other brands and makes, and that's going to be difficult to do now because I've glued my box together. Okay, let's see if we can. No, we're not going to be able to. I am just going to peel that and peel. There we go. I'm going to pop that in at a slight angle, look, and there we go. Okay, not as perfect as it might be. The joys of using wet glue, thank goodness for wet glue. So you would do that before you glue your box together. There we go. Add some glue to this back, which just folds under, and then I just pop that in. And by having that little ledge at the bottom, just enables you to pop your finger in and use your bone folder, and this is where your bone folder is really useful, just to burnish that down so you can see you have your little ledge. Now all that remains is to fold over the sides, pop some glue on both of those sides, And then fold and hold. So this is why I don't use wet glue as much on video, because it obviously takes a bit longer to set. But there's our basic box. Oh, that's just popped up a little bit. Again, just give it a burnish. And then we can pop our lip balm in. And then the easiest way to keep that from springing back open and give it a chance to hold is to use some of our lovely ribbon. So pop your ribbon in the middle of your desk and bring up. So it's probably about 18 inches there or thereabouts. Yeah. And this ribbon ties beautiful bows. It's a really pretty soft ribbon, and you can just tie that like so. And then I just pull those to either side. So, and then if you've got a ribbon like that one I've just go. So there's our little box. All that remains is for me to take a scrap of Whisper White and our little thanks sentiment, and I'm just going to use here a 1.5 inch punch to punch out that thanks, and I'm going to use my 1 3/4 inch punch on one of those scraps to create a layer for that out of Magenta Madness. Little glue on the reverse of that. As you can see, it looks a little bit plain without any decoration on. So I'm just going to grab a couple of our lovely little dots. There, a couple of dimensionals, on the back there, so that you'll see the in colour dots come in a pack like this, so you've got all 5 colours, and they're a lovely size, as I said, just to add a little accent. So all that remains is for me to pop my label on there, and there we have a pair of pretty lip balm holder thank you boxes ready to say thank you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to purchase any of the products today, this lovely designer series paper in the new in colours, pop along to my blog and follow the links, or go straight to my Stampin' Up shop, heidismith.stampinup.net, search for 2020 to 2022 and it will come up as DSP along with the ink pads and the dots, so you can get creating. Thanks for watching. Come back soon and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thanks then. Bye bye.